Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here.
Thank you for making Saint Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Couldn't close out drives, and then he'll stand up there and talk about we got to do better. I mean, they have the opportunities to do the things, and they just don't do it. And now Taysom Hill is done for the year, and pretty much the Saints are going to fall to, 4-8. So, I mean, yeah, you at some point, like if you were thinking, if you're Mickey Loomis and you're thinking, well, then again, he doesn't think, he ain't got a brain, but if you did have a brain, if you was the general manager of this team, then you would say, okay, listen, I got two set of plans. Plan one is let's set it up for see if the team can make the playoffs. If the team doesn't make the playoffs, then you need to do something. But he's not going to do that. He's going to stick to keeping what this is because the team is messed up with money and they forced in this direction. That'll be the end of the game. The Saints are going to lose 21-14. You lose Taysom pretty much probably for the rest of the season, which is a hard pill to swallow. And the fact that the Saints could have and should have won this game, but once again, can't capitalize when they're supposed to. They can't close drives. Offense spits, sputters, and spurns. It can't do anything. The offense did enough and kept them well enough into the game. The offense couldn't do anything. So in the end, it is what it is. And then, of course, on top of that, the New Orleans Pelicans are in New York City right now getting manhandled 53-25 with less than 3 minutes left to go. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love it? My goodness, y'all. My goodness. Even when the teams lose to help you, you don't capitalize. You don't do what you're supposed to do. You can't win a game. So it is what it is, man. Let's go into the breakdown aspect of the show, man. The Saints lose 21-14. They had an opportunity to win this game. They blew it in typical Saint fashion. The entire first half was 2 field goals, 1 missed field goal. So even if people say, Q, Even if you count the missed field goal, it only gives you 21-17, so that doesn't really matter. But in the end, all we can look at and say that with this loss here, you might as well just move them past it. It's no P word. I'm not going to even say the P word. Ain't no P word. There ain't no P word. So that's a one hit quitter moment there. All right. William says, why not run Taysom AK on short yards? That was before he got hurt. Thank you.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, bro. Jamie says mock draft season has begun. Indeed it has, brother. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
They're not what you would call automatically, officially eliminated from playoff contention, but come on. You're a 4-8 team. You've lost 7 in a row prior to the 2 games. Then you know that you can't lose to the Rams. You know that. You get them in your building. The Rams start off. The defense did a good job of keeping them unstable. Saints offense couldn't do nothing. All they can do is get the field goal unit down there so they can kick field goals. At what point do we say, hey, man, let's flip this around? Because when your boy came into, Darren Rizzi stepped into the building and y'all stay right where y'all, we're going to jump right into listening to whatever they got to say momentarily. We're going to cover all that here. But the reality is at what point, and we're going to bring Pops Q in here too in a minute, at what point, if you're the New Orleans Saints, do you say, hey, man, and you're Darren Rizzi, you're looking at the offense saying, man, you done made changes to the defense and you've shown some improvement on defense, even to the special teams, but you do nothing with the offense, like the offense was all good? The offense, I've been saying offense is problematic. This Kubiak kid doesn't have an imagination. He's stuck in a time loop. He keeps running the same plays over and over again, like he don't know. And he said there were levels to his offense. I haven't seen anything but repetitive plays over and over again. I've seen lackluster, stupid play calling. Like, why would the play where Taysom gets hurt on? Why would I do that? Why would I take Taysom Hill? I need 1 yard for a first down. Why would I line that man up there 5 to 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage and say, hey, go give me 1 yard, when all I had to do is give it to the effing fullback or to Jamal Williams, or a quarterback sneak directly with Carr or Taysom right behind center? Why would I say put him 5 yards behind here to go run 5 yards to get 1 yard? Why would I -5 him to go get +1? What sense does that make? And the freaking Rams did it twice on the Saints. They put Stafford in there and Stafford got behind those guys and got 1 yard. I just don't understand. So at what point do you go to the offense and say, you know what? It's Kubiak. Let me sit you down and demote you like you did Ty Grantham. Like you demoted Ty Grantham and put Brian Young over the defensive line. At what point do we do that on the offensive side? You know what? It don't matter now, right? Because they ain't got a cat shit and a chance at hell trying to get that to the P word. It's absolutely insane. Crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. William says, thank you, Will. He says, ref stole a TD. The Saints gave up on that though, bro. They backed the Saints up. The Saints gave up on that because the Saints could have tried to fight to get more yardage on that play. They just gave up and just did a draw play to end it so they kick a field goal. Remember? The refs take what you allow them to take. They take what you allow them to take. The Saints didn't fight to get that extra yardage back. They just went to a give up draw play. That's what happened. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
It's just crazy to me. M. Dot says, Q, can you get all the grandstanding Kardashian and Carr sexuals to come to the front? I'm just curious to what excuses is it this time? That's a lot, brother.
Thank you.
Damn.
Fuck too kind.
Listen, they got some people that love Derek Carr, and I can't put with the feel of the game and stuff like that. We know the weaknesses of Derek Carr. We understand what he's good at and what he's not good at, and it's just for them to pretend like he's something or try to put him in a situation that's not comfortable. But at the end of the day, when you don't have Taysom to lean on, what do you have? What do you have? They was giving it to Alvin Kamara, the guy, like I said before, not consistently getting other guys involved. We needed that. We could decoy guys. We don't need to put Taysom Hill in to go get a yard when we got a Jamal Williams. We got a Adam Prentice. You mean to tell me my fullback can't give me a yard? Or he can't block for me to get my second running back? Taysom Hill is not it's amazing. It's amazing. People say, what happened to Carr in the third quarter? I mean, to Taysom in the third quarter. They had him on the snap count. I guarantee you that. That's why he was on. People like, where's Carr at? I mean, not Carr. Keep saying Carr. Taysom. Where's Taysom at? Q, is he hurt? I said, no, he in there. He in there. Well, why is it in the game? Because they got him on a rep count. They got his ass on a rep count. They got him on a rep count. That's why you ain't see him in that third quarter, but then you seen him in the fourth quarter. Then the guy hits him in the knee and bends his knee forward. Bends his knee backward, I mean. Terrible, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man, on that. Thank you for that, man. All right. Brother Prompt says Carr good between 20s and against bad teams. Usually they just take the ball out of Carr's hands in certain circumstances. In this game, he was making some decent throws. A couple of throws he made to Kamara. He threw one that was so low, Kamara had to basically scoop it up almost off the ground. Then he threw to him with the ball just a little bit elevated. He threw to him at like right below the hip level, and he missed on it. Then another one he dropped that was catchable, right? And then there were plays where he made up the field and plays what he didn't make. But at the end of the day, they just didn't make enough plays in the first half. They didn't make the adjustments. And I told you, when the Rams come out, they were going to run the ball to set up the pass. And then they started having short passes. They started rolling out Stafford to the corners. I mean, and throwing on the run toward the sidelines to Puka, to Cooper Kupp, getting Tutu Atwell and these other guys involved to get his rhythm going. They started moving him and having him to throw on these angled routes where you had to receive a pin between the sideline to kind of cut down the chances of getting interceptions. So he was able to make these throws on a run. And it helped get him together. And once he got into rhythm, it was over with. The defense did stop him once. And then what ended up happening after the defense did stop him was ultimately our offense did not do enough. They ate up like over 7 minutes on that last drive and then turned it over. Then couldn't do nothing, couldn't get in the end zone. So it's another year worth of wasted opportunities. The Saints are out of the playoffs, in my opinion, or the P word out of my opinion, because they waited too long to get rid of this possum. They had a possum that was in here tearing up everything, scratching up the walls, biting people, giving them rabies. And next thing you know, you take too long to get them out of there. And now look what you're stuck with. The residue of badness from the previous regime is still funking up the building. Now you can't make any excuses or any missteps. You don't have any room for error. You done flittered them away like you did. So they're 4-8 now. They have to climb. They got the Giants Nets. They might beat them, but you got teams that it's going to have difficulty with. You got the Commanders coming in here. You can't stop a scrambling quarterback. You got the Packers. The Packers under Matt LaFleur, they lost like 2 games in his administration since he been up there in a whole month of December. He lost 2 games, and you got to go up there to beat him. So in the end, man, 5 games left for the Saints. Anything can happen, but my bet is they ain't going nowhere but to the damn draft. That's the bottom. But thank you, Prime. Appreciate you on that one, brother. Here we go.
Thank you. You're fuck too kind.
Yeah, the whole situation was very rapid. Let's punch at the stats, man, and then we'll kind of turn it over. Y'all stay right where you are. We'll give it to Rizzi when he pops up here. But let's do these these tune-up stats right quick here to talk about, man, as the Saints, man. Listen, Here, first downs received, Saints lost 22-19. Third down conversion, Saints were 5 of 15. The Rams were 4 of 9. That's terrible for the Saints. Total play 68-55. The total yardage 327-322. Saints way 9 total drives versus 8 Rams way. Rams average 6 yards a play. Saints average 5 yards a play. The passing was very minuscule, but the Rams stepped up there, went 166 yards passing in the second half. Everything turned on for them in the second half. They made the adjustment. Saints did not. 184 to the Saints. The Saints had 143 rushing yards off of 31 carries for 4.6 yards per rush. The Rams had 156 off of 29 carries. They averaged over 5.4 yards per run. They were 3-3 in the red zone. The Saints were 0 for 2, which shows you everything you need to know. 4 penalties to 38 yards versus 3 for 30 there. For the Rams, the turnovers were non-existent, and the Saints did have control of the clock in the first half. They won it 32-37 because they had the long drive at the end of the game where they had well over 7 minutes worth of coverage there, but it didn't do them no good. They couldn't convert it into anything. 27-23 Rams way. Of course, let's take a look at the individual statistics for the matchup as Derek Carr finished the game 24 of 37 for $184 in the matchup, 5 yards per throw, 85.9 on the rating. Alvin Kamara, 23 carries for 112 yards. He averaged 5 yards a rush. Taysom had the catches, 5 for 37 off of 7 targets. Scantlin, 2 for 36 in the score off of 3 targets. Juwan Johnson, 5 for 36 off of 7. Kevin Austin Jr., 3 for 3 for 31 yards in the matchup. And then, of course, you go down to the defense. Ugo Amadi put in a lot of work in the matchup. He did a lot of fantastic things for the Saints. He's one of them little dudes that just know how to play. Pete Werner, 8 tackles on the day. Will Harris had 6 along with Alontae Taylor. A lot of stuff in the secondary, as you could tell. Sacks by Nate Shepard and Brian Brissy. 2 sacks by them to keep pressure early on, but the second half was a different matter. Blake Grupe, 2 for 3 on the day. Matt Hayball, 3 punts for 128. He put 2 of the 3 inside of the 20-yard line. Then on the other side of the game, Matthew Stafford came alive in the second half, and he did a lot of positive stuff, 14 of 24, 183, and 2 touchdowns in the second half for 110.2 rating. Kyron Williams, 15 carries for $104, averaged almost 7 yards a rush against 1 touchdown. Blake Corum, 8 carries for 42, averaged 5.3 yards per rush. And what that does say is that the Saints need to shift, have a change, whatever you want to call it, in terms of them and that defensive side of the ball. They need to change something up defensively. Just to be honest with y'all about what's going on at that defense. They can't stop the run, and maybe it's too late for that, man. Maybe it's too late. All right, anyway, and then, of course, we look at the wide receiver position. Puka, for them, had 5 catches for 46 yards and 1 touchdown. DeMarcus Robinson, 2 for 49 in the score. Tutu Atwell, 2 for 39. Cooper Kupp was held 3 for 17. Kept him, pinned them down pretty good, and holding them to 21 points should be enough for the Saints to have been able to score. They averaged that much, right? 20-plus points a game according to their score. They averaged that. Christian Rosenboom had 12 tackles in the matchup. Omar Spates had 10. Quentin Late had 8, 6 from Kobe Durant on the day. So it's just one of them things where we just couldn't we couldn't do a damn thing. But anyway, we're gonna bring in Pops Q to the broadcast, man. Welcome on into the show, man. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good, son. Just sitting here. Isn't that the disappointing play calling of especially in the last few minutes of that game. And Taysom getting hurt didn't help him any. But the play calling was, I don't know, they seem like they play very vanilla. The Rams have a little offense where they can do different things and make different plays. But these guys, I don't know who's calling the offensive plays, but they gotta do something with picking it up and doing something different. You run your hand the ball off. They put everybody 8 in the box, so your running game is not going to work for you. And you got people like Eric McCoy is still out, who they're really what very important piece of their offensive line is out, and the guys who they're putting in there can't keep a hold of water to what Eric McCoy can do. Carr did all right. He didn't throw any interceptions, but the play call in the last few minutes of the game when we were right there to get the fourth down. Why would you try to call a draw play or give somebody the ball? I think it might have been the play that Taysom got hurt on a Camara, the run. In other words, they got stopped. He gave them the ball 5 yards to get one. When a simple dive play up the middle would have probably got him the first down, not with having to put a man out there, and he's got to run for longer, so that gives the Rams defense more time to come in. A direct punch straight up the middle should have been administered, but they didn't do that, and it's cost them the game.
Yeah,
Really
possible. Yeah, we think a lot because that was the commonsensical thing to do. I was upset about it at the time that that injury to Taysom didn't even have to happen because they ran that play at least 3 times that I can remember in this game. The guys running the same plays over and over again. He's to the point where in the second half the Rams were able to pinpoint what they got going on. It's the play when they take Derek Carr. And there were others, but there's at least several plays that he runs several times in the game, and people are recognizing the plays. The one when he turns Derek Carr into a wide receiver, Carr runs off, Taysom's back there by himself. I don't get what's going on here. It doesn't make any sense to me for a guy that's supposed to be some smart offensive coordinator that you have to run more yards than what you need to get what you want, as opposed to just get into a draw situation in which you just get behind your center and tell them to push and get the first down.
Yes.
It's just 1 yard you need for the first down. There's no need to do that to Taysom Hill. That's something that could have been avoided. That's why I was upset. That play doesn't need to be called there. That was a stupid play. It was a stupid play call.
Actually, son, they only had a half a yard to get that first down because it was less than a yard, fourth and less than a yard, something like a half a yard. And instead of them just saying, we're going straight up the middle and then you stop us. They didn't do that. They were going to get a guy the ball off on one side, have him try. And the team saw that coming. Those guys saw that, reacted to it, and stuffed him. You got to be more imaginative than that if you're playing that, and in that situation. The Rams just gave the ball to the little guy, and he just busted up through the middle. Fourth down. That's why they went on fourth down. The Saints have a serious problem with stopping the run, and they I feel like they're not going anywhere. I'd have made up in my mind there'll be some fun times to watch them, but they're not going to be. They might beat the Giants, but I don't know about that either. If they play call like that, you got a chance to get a first down, half a yard, and you're going to try to run a sweep play, a sweep action, or something like that. Have them cutting to the side that the Rams are going to stop. The Rams they saw that play happening before they even called it because the Rams loaded everybody to that side, and they stuffed them in the backfield.
It's one of these situations, man, where it's no doubt about it. The Saints aren't going anywhere. They had an opportunity. To beat a team. That Rams have not played perfectly. They're struggling. They're coming off a loss. But you have all of the weapons you need. You just need proper be able to get your guys involved and credit enough. Some of these wide receivers, the Kevin Austin Jr.'s, the Dante Pettis, these guys and the unknown guys were actually doing a good job. They were. There was not. He didn't even. There wasn't. Like I was saying for the second half, get Jamal Williams involved. Jamal Williams is healthy. Give him the ball and let him help out. There's no need to sectionalize or place or lock into a spot Taysom Hill or Alvin Kamara to any one role. You can move these guys around and put somebody else back there, give them the ball, and kind of at least take advantage of the fact that the defense will be keying in on those guys and providing opportunities for these lesser known guys, the Kevin Austins and all these other guys. Now you get these guys more involved in offense, it helps out. So we've seen a catch from Cedric Wilson Jr. We've seen Kevin Austin Jr. make 3 catches. We've seen MVS gets involved with the touchdown, but it's far and few in between. Where was the MVS type situation in the entire first half of the game? Why is it so sporadic? He gets 2 or 3 attempts and then a deep ball throw once or twice toward him. Why is it so sporadic getting MVS involved in the offense? It's just crazy. Here's Rizzi. Let's see what he got to say.
coach's mind that we were going to go down there and win the football game. So obviously disappointing. Really my biggest takeaway probably from this game is just, we did in our last, especially in the last game, we didn't finish. We didn't finish drives. We didn't finish out the game. We didn't finish the second half very well. And that's the things we've been doing the last couple of games. So, again, you're going to be in football games, and these one-score games against good football teams at home. You got to be able to finish off. And so that's something we didn't do very well today. We did a lot of things in the game that we set out to do and play the game in a lot of ways that we wanted to, but we didn't execute in crunch time. We didn't finish drives very well, like I said, and then really to start the second half, they kind of set the tempo with their offense. So obviously disappointing. Again, I'm very, very proud of the way we are fighting and competing. And that was the case right up to the very, very end. So we were in that game, like I said, right up to the end. We got a chance to win there. We had a guy open in the end zone, and we can't get the ball off. And so unfortunate. But hey, we're going to rebound and regroup. We still got 5 games left. Our division's still very much in play. I'm not a real big picture guy, but we're still got a very legitimate chance at the division. So we're going to keep fighting our butts off. So Dan, I'll take some questions.
Derek, can you kind of just go into what, when you're weighing the final couple minutes of the game, the clock management,
we were going down there to win the football game. I felt like we were reeling on defense, and if we score, we were going to go for 2 and go for the win. So I didn't want them to get the ball back with time left on the clock. So I thought the way we played it out was exactly where we wanted to play it out.
Do you have any update on how Mason Hill's doing?
Yeah, not yet. They're doing it. Yeah, obviously, he just got injured now, so hopefully we're gonna get some more information. So hopefully it's not too bad, but no real information yet.
Are there any indications how serious it is? I know you said just like the reaction from everyone around him.
Well, listen, I'm by no means a medical person, so I've heard. I'm not going to go down that road because I've heard bad things before and it's good, and I've heard good things before and it's bad. So we'll just let the medical thing play out. Sal, the very same thing. Just waiting on. They're going to get those guys over for imaging and all that stuff, and see what the deal is.
Derek, what would you say was the biggest problem on defense? It started with not being able to stop the run, I guess.
Yeah, listen, obviously they had 0 points at the half. I think they had 15 yards passing. We were playing the game the way we set out to win the game. We kind of had a way that we wanted to play this football game and felt like we could win this football game. And I thought defensively we were going on script in the first half. I thought second half, they came out, and if I'm not mistaken, they had their first 2 drives. And then they had an explosive play, which is always a great equalizer. We'd kind of done a great job of not giving those up in the first half. They get a couple explosive plays, and then we had a tough time stopping a run in the second half. So, again, just not consistent enough. I was really, really pleased at halftime with the defensive effort. But at that point, we only had 6 points. So we kind of stalled on a couple drives. We missed a field goal. We could have been up 2 scores. We were only up 1. And so, I felt like we had played the first half like we wanted to play it, but we only had 6 points to show for it. And that obviously caught up to us.
How about your guys' run game?
Yeah, listen, I felt like there was bits and pieces of our run game that was good. If I'm not mistaken, we were over 4.5 yards a carry on the day. And so, like I said, we were playing out the game. The disappointing thing for me was we put ourselves into some third and manageables and didn't convert those. So I think we were 5 of 14 and, on third down. That's been an issue for us, not being able to convert third downs in the second half. And that's reared its ugly head again now for a few weeks in a row. We've got to remedy that problem. That's part of the finish that I'm talking about.
Darren, you said you had a receiver open, couldn't get the ball out. It seemed like Derek had some time and was waiting for something to develop. Did you think there was an opportunity to get?
Well, all I know is we had a guy open. I don't know exactly how the route played out, his first and second read, but that's the first thing Derek said to me when he came off the field. Is I know I had a guy open there. We were half a second too late. Gets the ball out a half a second earlier. We might be having a different press conference right now. So
what is your thought on his game in that situation? Timing, feel in the pocket.
Well, listen, I'm pleased with the way Derek's been playing. There's really no, I think, are there a couple plays he'd love to have back? We didn't have any sacks today. I thought he got rid of the ball when he was supposed to. We weren't quite as good as our completion percentage wasn't quite as good today. I think they had a little pressure on us on some of those third downs. But, I look at Derek for the game. I think he had maybe 12 or 13 incompletions. 8 of those are on third down. We've got to get better. That's got to be an emphasis for us. We've got to continue drives and keep, one of our big things was keeping their offense on the sideline. We did that in the first half. We didn't do that as well in the second half.
Obviously, you guys did hit the big play at MVS. Was it something their defense was doing to take away deep shots, and you guys were content to be patient and put it together?
Yeah, I think early on they were kind of playing some soft shell, and I think we had a lot of underneath, things that were open, and we took advantage of it. And then as the game went on, we had a couple of shot plays in the game plan that we were going to take just at the opportune time. And so, obviously that's all down distance related and things like that. So, but again, MVS 3 games in a row, good for him. Another huge play and a heck of a catch by Dante Pettis. On the 2-point conversion to get us tied back up. So, again, like I said, we did a lot of great things. It's disappointing because when you play one of these games out that you feel like, man, we could have won. And as we were going down the field at that last drive, in my mind, we were going to win the football game. So it's a good news that we were in it right till the end. The bad news is we couldn't execute, couldn't finish.
Darren, how would you describe the mood in the locker room right now? Obviously, it's been a really good couple of weeks leading up to this. How would you describe it?
Listen, like any game that you lose, the guys are pissed off because they know that there was one there in our grasp that we didn't get, and unfortunately, we've had a few of those this year. That we get down into this fourth quarter and these one-score games, and I think overall we're 1-4 in one-score games. And if you're going to make the postseason in this league and be successful and win your division, all those things, the bottom line is you got to win one-score games. So that's just the bottom line. And so, I think the mood in the locker room is guys are still confident in what we're doing, but again, are disappointed that we lost, and they should be.
Darren, you didn't look satisfied with the DPI call. I mean, did you get an explanation on Alante?
I didn't get an explanation, and I thought I got to go back and watch the film, but there was some talk about that maybe he stepped out of bounds as well, so which makes him at that point ineligible to touch the ball first. So I got to go back and look at it, but yeah, that's all. I didn't get a very good explanation on any of that. No.
When you lose a player like this on that last drive, how does that impact the flow of the offensive play calling?
Yeah, well, listen, I thought at that point, obviously, Taysom goes down. A lot of the guys are disappointed. He's obviously a very, very well-respected and well-liked guy in our locker room. So, but at that point, it also can be a little bit of a rallying deal where guys want to go and finish the game because of that. So, again, we had our opportunities. In all 3 phases, we made errors today that could have changed the game, and that's what we're searching for. We're searching and grasping for that one more play in each phase to take us over the hump, because that's where we were today. We needed one more play really from every phase to get ourselves the victory today. So that just didn't happen, and that's where we got to get better. We'll move forward and try to improve that this week, and hopefully go up to New York and get it fixed.
The timeout before that 3rd and 10 that ended up being 35 for the penalty.
Yeah, we had 10 guys on the field.
Was that because Tyrann should?
No, we just had 10 guys on the field. We can't have 10 guys on the field. We had to call timeout because I obviously, if I was aware we had 10 guys on the field, and if we get a first down there, that's not going to play with 10 when we still. The bottom line is we can't have 10 guys on the field, and so that's why we took the timeout. We got to do a better job with substitutions. We burned an offensive timeout the second half as well for a substitution. We can't do that. We got to be better. We got to fix that. That's us. That's on me, and I'll take full responsibility for that. We got to get that cleaned up. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. That's Coach Rizzi, man. With his thoughts on the game, and we'll see if anybody else pop up to the podium. Saints bullied by Rams in 21-14 loss. They're now 4-8 on the season. We'll see who pops up. Maybe Derek Carr. Nope. Here's Cam Jordan. Let's see what he got to say. Here we go. Cam Jordan.
Obviously, this result isn't what you all wanted coming into this one after coming off the bye week and everything, but the run defense is going to kind of be the biggest conversation to come out of this. What did you kind of see throughout the game that caused some issues there?
Yeah, I mean, you say the first drive was a 3-and-out to the standard, and then after that, it was second quarter, and we had TOP. We ended up giving some TOP back, time of possession. They ended at almost 5 yards, 5.5 yards a carry by the end of the game. This is not our standard. Easily could have held them under 3. We've got to be able to look at the film and correct that. There was some, whatever it was, gap integrity, missed tackles, whatever that is, we got to figure out and eliminate that ASAP. I mean, energy was high. Guys were flying around. We had a couple sacks. There was pressures. And, for the most part, we contained the receivers, which they have a good receiving core, until we didn't. And that's on the running game. So it's on the D-line. It's on the linebackers. It's on the DBs. We all got our hand in it.
Did they do something fundamentally different in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, you say they went from, primarily they ran from their stretch to the tight end to opening up the opposite way to relying more on their play actions as well as quick throws. He sped up his release because he was getting tagged in the first half and responded accordingly.
How would you describe the mood in the locker room right now?
Pissed. You let one get away. We don't have enough time to let anything get away. Defense, we let them score 21 points. Just going over it. I mean, in the locker room, there's guys still talking about fitting the run blocks. Guys are motivated. We want to win, and that's just not how you get it done.
Does it become challenging? Sort of.
Doesn't every loss become challenging?
Yeah, but it feels like in the run game there were like a couple of different things you were identifying as being issues. It feels like it might be a moving target there. It makes it tough to adjust. How do you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, we knew going in that they were a stretch team. Kyrie Williams is a good running back, and they create gaps by walling off or whatever it is. It's a very lateral scheme situation, and the first half we were overly confident. The second half, still confident. That things would go our way. I mean, the faith on the sidelines was we're going to go down, score, and if we, if we don't go for 2, we go into overtime and still come out with the win, and that didn't happen. But the faith on the sideline was we're going to get this thing going in our favor.
Cam, coach said y'all stated 1-4 in these one-score games. You played a lot of teams that was the opposite. Y'all were 4-1 in those. What do you think?
You have to be able to close out those games. I've stated it multiple times. I mean, when you're within one score, you have to be able to close those games out. And on the defense side, you always say, put it on us. When you watch the offense, when you watch how close it was, you saw Derek scan and find his target as just as about to release. There's opportunity there. We have to be able to take advantage of each and every opportunity.
Cam, I know you can't rely on turnovers, but I mean, is there a frustration when you go and have 2 games without forcing one? I mean, is that something you feel on the field?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you always want turnovers. You always want, a sack, strip, fumble. I mean, I was hoping when Shep would have got one out when he was coming through the backside B or wherever he came from. But that's just it. It didn't happen. Now we're 2 games without turnovers, and honestly, turnovers help. Anytime you can give the ball back to our offense, you have potential to score. So that's going to be on us.
You can talk to Tyron at all?
Talk to a lot of people. I mean, yes, but I wouldn't say directly impeding the game. More along the lines of what do you need? What do you need from me? What do you need from us? And just trying to focus on what we can do better. Are you saying after the game or during game? Yeah. Just make sure I was like, yo, is it serious? Whatever. We had a quick conversation.
You allow yourself at all with big picture games left?
No. I mean, the goal this week was 1-0, and we didn't accomplish that goal. So our new mission is 1-0 next week. I can't macro when we're not taking care of micro. Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Oh my goodness. Boy, I tell you, man, Pops, this season has really turned into something of nightmares. The New Orleans Saints and the New Orleans Pelicans, the organization, this disaster field. This is a disaster. This is a disaster field season. The Saints are 4-8 after the loss, and Pelicans getting plastered right now in the middle of the third, 74-43 to the Knicks. So, I mean, you're looking at the Saints team at 4-8, and just to be clear, they're not eliminated yet. They're not mathematically eliminated, but in terms, they got 5 games remaining. And me personally, the Saints, and not just a talent standpoint, I'm speaking of detail, like offensively speaking. You've seen the defense do enough to stay in the game. The offense, it was indicative. You've seen the offense at the back end have the ball, march the length of the field, and do not complete the mission by scoring a touchdown to tie the game at its most clutch moment. That last drive showed me everything that I needed to see about the Saints offense as a team, that they strictly don't have it from an IQ standpoint. And it's not even about Derek Carr. It's about the coordinator. It's about this flipping offensive coordinator, which I've been talking about all season long, that the dude doesn't adjust. The Rams, Sean McVay adjusted in the second half, and the whole propensity of the game, it just changed for the Rams. The Saints were beating them in time of possession and were limiting opportunities. You've seen all that going on. Here go Derek Carr. Let's see what he got to say.
Coach Rizzi mentioned that he came off the field at the end of the game there after the final offensive play. And you mentioned that there was an open receiver in the end zone. What did you see?
Yeah, they took away the first two reads just with the coverage they played, and so I was stepping up and just going to give Juwan a big body ball up top, and I thought he won just from my point of view. Until we get the clicker and pause it, I don't know, but at least we would have had a chance, and so that's just, it's tough to be that close, to have a chance. And I was begging, right before that drive, I was like, hey, I went to Riz. I was like, let's go for two, because there was no doubt in our mind. We're going to score, we're going to score. Let's go for the win. And we didn't get that opportunity to see if we were going to do it, but it's hard to lose a game that way. I just wish I just could have done more for my teammates. I always feel that way after a loss, and this one hurts, especially when you're that close.
So was that pressure just like in a blind spot? Is there anything that could have been, did you evaluate anything?
My read was completely front side. I mean, I will evaluate it. I was just like, what could I do better? What could I have done? But I'm not looking, that side on that play that with the kill we made, the check, I should say, that we made, and my eyes are front side, going through my read, trying to find the coverage and find the open guy. And so I had no idea. But I got to figure out a way to help my teammates.
How tough was it to lose Taysom early on that show?
That's the worst. I don't know anything. Y'all probably know more than me. But just as a brother, as a friend, because it's bigger than football at that moment. His family, his kids, his wife, everybody, and that your heart just breaks. You got guys, Coach McVay, heartbroken for him. Stafford, walks up talking to me, heartbroken for him. In that moment, it kind of pauses the game part of it and the competitiveness, and you feel for someone especially like that. But I love how our fans treated him. And I would expect nothing less from our fans. When one of our guys goes down, they've been great. To support our guys, whether it's going great or not. The way they treat him, that made me happy for him to have that moment, because it's not a good moment to be in, but that was really cool.
Given its importance to the offense and maybe potential carry the injury, do you feel like that maybe rattled the team at all, or were y'all able to compartmentalize that in the last few plays of the game?
I feel like we were able to compartmentalize it, honestly. It's such a violent sport, your mind can't be anywhere else but on your assignment, and so I thought our focus, just being honest, I thought our focus was fine and was good. Just looking at the guys in the huddle and the mindset of still just trying to win that. And really, we threw the touchdown to MVS, and, Nick gets hurt, and then Taysom gets hurt, and like the rallying cry is like, man, let's do it for them, let's get this win for them. And so I thought our guys were really focused. I didn't think it altered anybody's thoughts or anything.
How would you describe the mood in the locker room right now? Just the general vibe right now?
I can't say the word I want to say because my mom always gets mad when I say it. So, and she texts me every time. But I would say angry, upset, because we just expect so much of us as a team, and we knew that was a good football team. We knew they were a really good football team, but we believe we're a really good football team, and so it hurts. But I would say angry, upset, mad at the loss, but still hungry. Like I've been in locker rooms that feel deflated, and that didn't feel like that. We still believe in what we can do, and it's not pretty. It's not been easy. But everything we want, we could still do. It's not impossible. And so, for us, I felt just as the leaders, as we were talking just now, like I just felt like it was positive, as it could be like after a loss.
You don't worry that maybe you've lost the momentum that you had built in the last couple of weeks?
I don't think so. I mean, as you go through practice and you feel the practice week and all those kind of things, I really just believe we have the kind of people that won't let it happen. I really believe that. I think Mickey has done an outstanding job of bringing, the right people, the leaders, DeMario, AK, Eric, Tyron, Cam, myself. I just feel like the whole locker room, we all just care too much, to just let it go. And so, especially when you're still playing for something, that it's not easy in this league, but when you're still playing for something, you got to keep going.
Derek, realistically, like we read is over here and the pressures over here, like what can a quarterback do besides like have that internal clock, like is there anything that can be done there at that moment?
I don't know. I just always, want to put it on myself. That's a tough one, because, it's at the end of a game, the down and distance, you're trying to take every last second. It's not like some of the plays early in the game where someone lost or something like that, and I just get out of there, I throw it away to save a negative play. Can't do that. I mean, you have to try. And so, I'll go study it and talk to my coaches, and whatever they say, we'll work it. I'll try and be better, and it'll be in my brain for sure. But I don't know. I don't want to say there's nothing I could ever do, because I always want to think that there's something I could have done better. But I was just going through my read, and at the end saw him and was about to throw it, and then he hit me.
Were you expecting to see man on that play?
Yes and no. I mean, yes, just because of the situation. Normally, you get that. But also with all the different motions and things we've done and beat versus man down in the low red zone and things like that, that's a tough call too on a defense too. So I mean, I knew what the coverage was as soon as I saw them line up and start communicating. But for me, usually in that situation, especially game on the line, you expect man, players on players and a blitz, maybe an all-out blitz or something like that. But yeah.
At what point do you maybe decide, like, I'm going to flee the pocket and extend this? Like, I know that one was kind of quick, but like, is there like a trigger that goes off in your head, like on a play where you're like, all right, it's been like 4 seconds, I need to get out of here or something like that?
Yeah, it's not really counting. It's once you get through the read, I got through 1 and 2 pretty quick, and then I'm waiting on number 3, the way they passed it off. I talk about, our whole read, but I went through 1 and 2 quick just because of how they played it. We knew that those plays were dead. And so then you step up, looking for 3. Right when my eyes went there, I waited till he was about to win and then went to throw it. So I don't know. It's my fault, man. I just wish I could have got the ball off.
Can you touch on some of the missed opportunities in the first half?
Yeah.
To kind of maybe get up and build a lead and hit the game you guys want?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ones I can remember, the penalties. We had a few back us up. We thought we had a touchdown. Whether they're penalties or whether they're not, it doesn't matter. They called them, And so, for us, being able to eliminate penalties, you can't have negative plays, especially when you get in the fringe. It's just hard. The coverages people can play and where they can stand and take certain things away, it's hard to, there's not a lot of depth, to work with. Can't throw it over their head and stuff like that too. And so I thought AK had a great effort getting in the end zone. That would have been a huge play for us, obviously, in this game. But yeah, I mean, anytime you have negative plays, that was a big emphasis for us this week. Just positive plays on first and second down, and obviously we didn't have enough of those because they got a good third and medium and long team, with rushing the passer and making you throw it short, trying to take things away that you try and take certain shots away, as best they could. We did hit the one to MVS, but. They do a good job on third down in those longer areas of really just trying to force the ball short and make a tackle at the sticks, and some games are like that. And sometimes it's frustrating a quarterback, but you have to stay true to your progression, the coverage, and getting the ball to the right guy, to give him a chance to get the first down. So I just thought, it's always on us as players that try and figure out how to be better there early downs.
Derek, can you talk about that 2-point play? Take us through that. What we looking for,
Yeah. You're saying if we would have scored?
No, the two.
Oh, the other one, the to Pettis. Got it. I'm sorry. The one to Pettis. Yeah. So we had a progression on the front. And I saw him grab Foster, and Foster ended up winning actually late. I wasn't ready for that, but they grabbed him. I popped back because I knew just how they played their coverage. I'd have a one-on-one backside, and Pettis won, and I just tried to throw it high, just so the corner couldn't undercut and get his hands on it, and he went up and made the play. And so really proud of him for making that play. He stepped up for us for sure.
What do you like about what you've seen from him and Kevin Austin Jr. kind of being called into a lot more action here with the course basketball?
Yeah, I mean, if you told me we would have been playing with, Pettis, Kevin, and MVS in camp, I'd have been like, all right. I don't know if I'd have believed you, but I said, okay. And I'm just so proud of those guys because they've stepped up so big for our team and for our city, making big plays for us when we need them. And, those guys are really good football players. That's another crazy job by our front office, doing a great job of, okay, we have a problem. There's injuries, how do we feel the problem? How do we fix it to help our team win? And they've done a fantastic job of that. And we knew Kevin was a good player in camp. I loved him. I thought he was a really good player. We just had so many guys already ahead of him, it just didn't work out that way. But he didn't complain. He put his head down. It's a great learning lesson for young receivers. Everyone comes from being the guy. Then you get on a team with Olave and Sheed and Juwan and Taysom and AK, and all of a sudden you're not the guy, right away. But he did not complain one time, didn't make the team, all that kind of stuff. He just worked. He got opportunities, making the most of it. So that's a really good lesson for young receivers, especially his journey, where he's come from, all those things, not quitting, not giving up, and just doing the right thing over and over again.
Obviously, you didn't get to run the 2.5 yet, but is that communicated before the drive, at some point in the drive? Because that's how you're maybe managing the clock.
Yeah, for me, I told Riz before the drive, I was like, hey, let's go for 2. And he just shook his head like, yes, I don't know if he wanted me to say that, sorry, but he said yes. And then when we were going down the drive, there was obviously an injury timeout, and I looked at him. I said, "Hey," and he goes like shaking his head. So like in our head, we're gonna hit Juwan, on that play, put it on whatever hash, run our 2-point play, and hopefully get a chance to win a football game. But we came up short, and we didn't get to do that.
Derek, you're 1-4 now in one score games.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, how do you explain that? What do you point to?
It's hard. It's hard because it comes down to we know in the NFL, like one play. And, whether we tied it or try to go for 2 and try to win it, whatever. But it comes down to one play. It's crazy how the game does that. And, we all focus on the end. But for us as players, we're going to go look at it and study it all morning tomorrow. Like, what play was it in between, that could have changed it. And so, for us, Double D said it best. He's like, look, man, when you lose 1-score games, don't let go of the rope because you're close, but we're not there yet, and what does that mean? It means when it's your turn, when it's whoever's turn, can you step up and make that play? Can you step up and be ready? And that only happens if you're doing it all right, from the beginning. And so, I wish we just had something we could just put our thumb on and know the answer, but without watching it, I just know what I saw, on the tablet. Whenever you're close, I'll just say what Double D said to everybody in the locker room. Whenever you're close, don't let go of the rope,
After the game today?
Yeah, just every time, whoever breaks it down, he broke it down, after the game today. And he said, don't let go, don't let go of the rope, because when you're close against a good football team, it's a positive and a negative. It means you didn't do it, but it also means you're almost there. And him, he's always positive, and just trying to look at it that way. And I agree with him. But we just got to learn how to finish those games.
Do you guys like your run game plan coming into this one against this Rams defense?
Yeah. I love the plan, and obviously with how well Philly ran it last week, you're going to get some different stuff. No one's just going to say, all right, hey, we're just going to do the exact same thing. Now you get some similar fronts, but they change up certain calls and different things they're trying to do up front with where they're putting people, and like we talked about. But yeah, I felt completely confident. Absolutely. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, Derek Carr, man, taking responsibility, saying that it's his fault, but saying a lot of stuff too, man. But at the end of the day, you have four, and I don't know how many, 5 games remaining in the season. I don't know if they have anybody else coming to the press, stepping up to the podium. It look like there isn't. That's it. But the reality is, facing going forward, Pops, is that this is what's left for the Saints. After the Rams lost, the Giants are up next. Noontime game in the cold in New York. They're struggling. Saints come home for the Commanders game with Jaden Daniels on Sunday, December the 15th. And then week 16's matchup, 2 days before Christmas, Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Yeah, at Green Bay, which is a game in which LaFleur, he only lost twice. He's like 12-2 in December or something like that. It's something ridiculous. You don't lose very often, and you got to go up in the cold weather to Green Bay to play them to get a win, come home against the Raiders, and then when the year changed, you got the Buccaneers for, if you're in shape, what could be a very interesting game. But looking at and hearing from some of the press conference from some of those people, Pops, what are your impressions on hearing from Rizzi and Carr and Cam? What are your thoughts on them before we get ready to close out?
Lack of execution is a serious matter with them. They give up a whole lot of running yards. They've had that problem the entire season. Teams can run on them without a problem. Guys picking up 5 and 6 yards on first down. You got to be able to stop the run at some time. And I think only once or twice in the whole game they was able to stop the Rams' running attack. It's just amazing to me that the Rams didn't run on them more, as the game progressed. And toward the end, they stopped them a couple of times. But I'm just looking at these last few games. I mean, I don't see much help for us with the Packers. I don't sense that they can beat the Packers, Green Bay, then at Green Bay, because what is his name? Jordan Love, is the quarterback? He's playing excellent football for the Green Bay Packers. The Raiders, I can see them possibly beating them, but Tampa Bay at Tampa with the season on the line, that is probably a loss. By that time, if they haven't won at least 3 of these games, these last 5 games, when they get to go for the division, Tampa Bay gonna win the division off the New Orleans Saints, beating the New Orleans Saints. So I'm optimistic and hopeful that they would win these games, but seemed like later in the game, it's like the team's offense slows down, gets into slow motion. Guys don't get out quick enough on their routes and they progressions. You got to be able to get the offensive line moving quickly. Move it, move your plays, get your plays moved very quickly. And then you can't have drop in the way the Saints offense is playing right now. You can't have drop football. Kamara dropped 2 easy catches that could have helped them, But and then I think he dropped one on third down. So if he'd have caught that ball, he had some room to run, but he took his eyes off the ball, and therefore it was a down over. So they got to learn how to pick up the pace, pick up the intensity. They don't have an intensity. They lack the intensity to hit the defense in the mouth before they can hit them in the mouth. So I'm not too optimistic about this last 5 games. I'm figuring we could win a couple. We might beat the New York Giants because they're even from what I'm been able to research, they're just as bad as or worse than we are. The Commanders, I don't know. They have a running quarterback like Jaden Daniels. Running quarterbacks do the Saints like running quarterbacks do LSU. So, they got to be able to stop. They got to be able to spy Jaden Daniels, keep him from making big plays with his legs, because that's how he came through the system, through the college system, with his legs, executing big time plays with his legs. And the Saints got to be able to stop that if they're going to have a chance. The Raiders, I'm not too familiar with their offense, but seems like I think they may have a possibility they can win that game. They need to win. They actually need to win all of them. We need to see the heart of this team. You see what I'm saying, son? We need the heart of the team right now, the last 5 games.
Yeah, I agree with your pops. They definitely have to give a full out effort, but changes have to be made offensively. I believe in positivity and all that, but that has to come. A mindset change has to follow with action. You have to take action. Something's wrong with the offense. The play calling is stale. It's predictable. A change must be made there. At least move Dennison into the role. See if his play calling affects the offense. Because this Kubiak guy is just too stale and unimaginative. He keeps doing the same stuff over and over again. And it's just people done figured it out. We're seeing the same trash and junk from him all the time. Shout out to Debo says, sad part is this the best version of Carr, Big Q. Yes, indeed. Play action Carr, man. And we couldn't get him in there today.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you for that as well. Yes, and then also shout out to All World Trucker. Thank you, fam. Says Q. Willie Green next to get fired. Yeah, I'm watching it. The Knicks is killing the Pelicans 103-63 with 9:02 left in the fourth quarter. So you seeing the funky stankiness of what's going on cross teams. It's the same leadership. Thank you.
Fuck too kind.
A change is needed, man. That's what has to happen. Changes has to be happening. This organization, both of them are counterproductive. They're not ran intelligently. They're outdated and antiquated. And I keep saying the same thing, and that's why I keep telling people at the same time to keep holding your money. The Saints are not, even though they fired Dennis Allen, also said there were residue left on the team from Dennis Allen over the last almost 3 years of having him as the head coach. Some of his players that are not good enough are still on his team, and they have not gotten rid of these players fast enough. I kept saying that. They had all this time to improve and bring in fresh talent. I kept telling them that the offensive line, you needed to improve the offensive line, because you can't count on guys coming back because they're prone. They might get hurt again. That's what happened with McCoy. That's what happened with Lucas Patrick. Nick Saldiveri's hurt again. And they took a hit with this. Taysom Hill is probably gone for the entire year. So the Saints keep dealing with it over and over again. So the season is quantified to 5 games. And I don't think they could beat either Commanders or the Packers because it takes more. The Saints have a brain issue and an IQ issue in clutch moments at a time. Derek Carr can't stand around there forever with the ball in his hand. He got to take off and do something. And not usually they would just take the ball out of his hand with Taysom. Now Taysom's not in there. Clint Kubiak doesn't have a shot now. You can't overuse Taysom Hill. Now that he's out of there, he's probably done for the year. So I mean, be that as it may, they still got 5 games left, possibly for them to go on a 5-game winning streak. We'll see what they're gonna do. We'll see, because that's what they have to do. They got to win out. And I don't think they'll be able to do that. I'm just being honest with you based on what I'm saying.
I feel the same way, son. I don't see them. Like I said, they only have probably a chance of winning 2 games out of this next 5. They're not going to beat Tampa at Tampa Bay. That would have done. They might beat the Raiders, and they might beat the New York Giants. But the Commanders and the Green Bay Packers, that's a loss right there at Green Bay. At Green Bay in the cold, and the Commanders, that's also a home game for us. The Commanders, they might have a shot if they catch if Jason Daniels is off his game.
Man,
so if he's not off his game, it's gonna be a long way. Plus, the key to the whole situation is stopping the run. Because you force teams to make adjustments and force them to throw the ball downfield. But if you can't stop the run, you have big time problems. And the Saints cannot. And this whole season, they had problems with runners. They could not stop the run. We need to stop the run, son. If we don't stop the run, we're gonna lose again. If we don't stop the run, even if we play the New York Giants, we're gonna lose again. Because I was watching the Rams gouge. I'm talking about gashing the Saints defense on those running plays. Guys are getting 5 and 6 yards a pop, just about on every running play.
Yep.
When they run directly at them, guys are slipping. The little young running back actually cut between the Saints defensive line. He makes a big gainer, and your secondary is doing all the tackling. You know, the linebackers, where are the linebackers? Why are they not playing in their zones, in their gaps? You know, they're allowing these teams to run on them, and it's been all year long. It started with the first game, and it still haven't stopped.
That's true. I mean, they got major problems, and some of these problems are supposed to be solved. It should have been solved a while ago, but now they're saying they still got to figure out with 5 games left to go in the year. Good luck with that.
No, they won't. Another thing, I'm just sitting here thinking. I mean, these guys are getting old. You know what I'm saying? They're getting old, so it's time to refresh them out. The guys that got a little age on them, get them out. You know, get them out. And see, I see Tampa won again today. Tampa beat the Panthers 26-23, huh?
Yeah, this is we hit these and then we'll get on out. Thank you, All World Trucker. Shout out to you, brother, for that. The Buccaneers did win. They come back. They beat the Panthers. They scored 13 points in the fourth quarter. They win 26-23. They're now 5 and 6. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're 6-6. 5 and 6. I think 5 and 6. 5 and 6.
5
so,
and 6.
So yeah, they get the win there. And you look at the Falcons did lose today. The Falcons lost to the Chargers 17-13. They 6-6. They lost 3 in a row. Steelers over the Bengals 44-38. Cardinals barely lost to the Vikings 23-22. Colts beat the Patriots 25-24. Seahawks over the Jets 26-21. Titans lose badly to the Commanders 42-19. Texans 23-20 over Jags. You see the Rams score, Bucks score, Saints. Bucks beat the Panthers 26-23. The Eagles come back to beat the Ravens 24-19 as we go. And of course, you've seen the Thanksgiving games of the Lions over the Bears. The Giants fall to the Cowboys, and Dolphins get beat badly by the Pack. So the Giants are who we got up next, and they're 2-10, and that's what the Saints need to get going. But at the end of the day, they need to win everything on out to even think about it. But like I said, we'll see how it all ends, how it looks going forward. But it ain't looking too good.
No,
for the Saints, no matter how you slice it. Part enough. Closing thoughts, Pop.
Well, we don't seem to have the fire. You know, I say this every week, but we had a little bit more fire this last game, but by the defense not stopping the run. I mean, your defense gets worn down by a team that run the ball on you. And if they can't stop the run, you have to force them to pass. You have to force the quarterback to beat you. Well, that gives you more time, gives you your pass rush, more time to put him down. But if he's handing the football off and he's just running straight up the middle of big 8 and 9-yard gainers, these teams see this. They say, oh, here we come to the Saints. We're going to be able to run the ball. I don't even have to throw the ball. I can run on them. And New York Giants is no exception. So, and our schedule, they're going to be running the ball until we learn how to stop the run. We could end up 0-5 in this last group.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it all goes, man. These games and changes have to be done. The offense is just too low IQ, man. They're just too predictable. And I've been saying it all season long. This Kubiak guy is just he's failing. He doesn't have any new wrinkles. We got 5 games remaining in the season. We're not seeing any of the double motion plays that we used to see. We're not seeing any of this garbage. We're not seeing none of that stuff. It's just too basic and predictable. And he's worn thin, man. We thought he was going to come here and do something different. He promised to do some stuff. And the guy is vanilla. He's dumb most of the times with a lot of his play calling is suspect. And he's questioned on how overusage of players. He has stupid replies for that. So it's like this dude is not ready for the big time. We need to change it up. If you want to proceed forward offensively speaking, you at least try it with Dennison. Let Dennison try it. This other guy is not working offensively at all. They had a chance to score if they score to keep the game going. And then you're in the clutch moments of the game. You can't afford to lose games like this. You got to win the game.
Yep.
Yeah, he fails. So anyway, that'll do it for the Sean won't go over. Yeah, you're right. Mel says, miscellaneous Mel says Kubiak ain't it. Nah, he's not it, bro. And I've been saying, where is this? Where is that? And he's failed miserably in his play calling, and he needs to be demoted in favor of seeing Rick Dennison, because this offense ain't catching, dude. It's just too non-imaginative. It's too vanilla. It's the same plays over and over again. This dude keep calling the same stuff over and over again.
Then they don't execute. They don't execute fast enough either, son. They don't have any snap to the offensive game. You know, like you got to be able to pick the tempo up, get the defense guessing something. If you just kind of going through the motions, well, the defense is prepared for that. I mean, that's what we saw today. The Rams didn't do nothing no more than what they've been doing, except that they ran the ball on the Saints, picking up all that yardage, just straight dive plays up the middle, or guys running between the tackles. One little running back, particular little fella ran all between the tackles, a couple of plays up the middle, and for big yards. By the time they get him on the ground, he done ran for 10 yards or more. That's the kind of stuff we have to stop if we're gonna have any chance of winning any of these upcoming games. Indeed. All right. Listen, fam, I'd like to thank y'all for chiming in on this episode of the Coma, man, the watch party, man. Listen, Saints go down, man. They lose a close one here, 21-14 to the Rams. They had an opportunity to win the game late, but failed. Like much of the season, like they've been doing for much of the season, they've been failing. Rams basically shifted in the second half, then bullied the Saints, and the Saints had no answer for it. They had no answer for it. So anyway, with that being said, y'all hit the like button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Check out our fantastic sponsors. Their links are in the description section below. Mint Mobile, if you're looking for a deal, looking for a good rate on your phone, not just for you, but think about your family. If you got children or your spouse or whatever, and y'all got multiple phones on your plan, you might want to check out Mint Mobile. They got deals going on phones, and all this kind of stuff is going on right now. Check Mint Mobile out. The link is in the description section below. Teach Henley also 20 to 40% off on skincare products for the men, and bet online. If you can't make money on the Saints or with the Saints, make money on the Saints, because they make it off of you. So anyway, all those links in the description section below. Please feel free to support our sponsors. Also, there are links below to support the platform, whether you want to sign up for our Patreon membership, patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. Those links in the description section. Check out our link tree. That link's there. It'll give you the links to all of our merch stores, to all of the ways that you can, if you want to support the platform and the work that we're doing. We got all kind of stuff: pro basketball, pro football, college football, boxing, all that stuff. The WhoDatDaily.com, our sports news site with our contributors. If you want to support us and that kind of stuff, you can check it out in the link tree. So with that being said, I'm gonna get out on that. Appreciate y'all for chiming in, man. And listen, man, we'll be back on Monday to kind of look at this thing again and see what went wrong, man. We'll talk about it more. So anyway, much love to y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Peace, and who that take.
Yeah. Like Vincent, I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Booking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. You're listening to the sports coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
New Orleans Saints.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the